New this morning, a downed power line is being blamed, at least for now, for a small fire at an abandoned building in East Bakersfield. It all started just after 11 o'clock last night at that building at 430 Jefferson Street, which is just off Bernard. City crews came out in force, were able to knock it down in just about an hour. PG&E was called in to assist with that live wire. There were no reported injuries from the blaze. This continues to be a developing story. We will continue to follow it, bring you new information as we receive it on our website, turnto23.com.
Search warrants were served Sunday morning to the owner of the dive boat that was engulfed in flames last week. The Santa Barbara County Sheriff's Department says it's all part of the ongoing investigation. There were 39 people on board at the conception. 5 crew members were the only survivors. Officials say the rest of the people on the ship were probably trapped after the fire blocked their only way to escape. Santa Barbara officials say the victims most likely died of smoke inhalation. The bodies of 33 people have been recovered. Only one is still missing. Recovery efforts will continue after weather conditions in the area improve.
Strong winds fueling a large wildfire burning in the Plumas National Forest that has grown to more than 38,000 acres. The Walker Fire burning in Northern California began on Wednesday. Officials say it was about 2,000 acres Friday morning. Those winds kicked in, increased it to 17,000 by Friday night, 24,000 by Saturday. At least 3 communities in the area were ordered to evacuate. According to CAL FIRE, the Walker Fire is just 5% contained.
One person is facing DUI charges now after getting arrested during a checkpoint held by Bakersfield police over the weekend. The DUI and license checkpoint was held Saturday night from 8 p.m. until 1 a.m. on Sunday. 596 vehicles were screened in central Bakersfield on Oak Street near 19th Street. 4 drivers were cited for driving without a license and 4 drivers were cited for driving on a suspended license.
Cal City resident Henry Oxner, a member of the 101st Airborne in World War II, has died. Oxner, a paratrooper with the Army's famed Easy Company, landed behind enemy lines on D-Day in support of the Normandy invasion. Henry was featured in our Veterans Voice segment, talking about his trek across Europe and the battles that he fought in. He was part of a group that liberated a concentration camp, and he ended up at Hitler's famed Eagle's Nest mountaintop retreat. Henry fell in his home back in June, suffered a broken bone, and it was during an examination that doctors found a tumor in his colon. Henry Oxner was 96 years old.
September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, and one local survivor wants to help get the word out. 16-year-old Chloe Dollar was born and raised right here in Bakersfield.
That's right. At the age of 13, she was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. Now, she wants to spread the word about childhood cancer. 23 ABC's Austin Westfall spoke with her and has more on her message.
The symptoms of the cancer started in my left knee, and it was just, it was just a little ache, nothing to worry about. And then the ache progressively got worse and worse.
About 3 years ago, at age 13, Chloe Dollar was diagnosed with stage 4 large B-cell lymphoma. Her mom was the first to find out.
And so I remember she had stuttered the words, "You had cancer." At the time, she did not tell me what stage it was. I later found out that it was stage 4.
It was in multiple sites in her body. So it was tough. I had to just go in the shower and cry and get it all out and times away from her to continue to be a positive support for her.
Not a lot of people make it through that stage, and so I'm very lucky to be sitting here doing an interview with you right now.
Chloe underwent months of chemotherapy and got a bone marrow transplant from her brother. After all was said and done, she was cancer clear. Her mom once again the first to know.
And she goes, "That was your doctor who called. She just said that you have no more live cancer cells." And so I just started crying. Oh, I'm gonna start crying now.
Chloe credits her family, God, and her dogs for helping her through the tough time. She says she's seen a lot of kids battle cancer, including her good friend Arissa, who she met during her recovery, who died at just 6 years old.
She's very special to me.
KidsBeatingCancer.com says 46 children are diagnosed with cancer each day, and it is the #1 disease killer for kids. Chloe is thankful for her life.
Once you've been through that, it really prompts you to make people aware that cancer doesn't discriminate, whether it's your age, your race, your economic status. It doesn't care.
And that was 23 ABC's Austin Westfall reporting. Now, every Friday this month, Chloe is spending her lunch period bringing awareness to childhood cancer. She actually set up a table in the middle of BHS's lunch area and hands out goodies and information to both students and staff. For more information on how you can donate, go to our website, turn223.com.
This week, Dunkin' Donuts and law enforcement agencies all across the state will team up to help support the Special Olympics. It's the annual Cop on a Rooftop event all across California happening on Thursday. Law enforcement agencies throughout the state will stay on Dunkin' Donuts rooftops to rally for support for the Special Olympics Southern California. Last year, right here in Kern County, over $6,000 were raised. The fundraiser is happening at all Dunkin' Donuts locations from 6 to 10 a.m. on Thursday. For more information on the fundraiser, you can head to our website, turn223.com.
City officials will be hosting a ceremony on Wednesday to honor the memory of the thousands of people who lost their lives on 9/11. The remembrance will take place at the 9/11 monument at the West Side substation on Buena Vista Road. Flowers will be available to place at the monument for a small donation. The ceremony will begin at 8:30 in the morning, and the city fire and police departments will both be in attendance. Once again, it is happening this Wednesday on Buena Vista Road.
In your ag report, amid the trade war between the U.S. and China, American manufacturers are cutting back. The Wall Street Journal says companies are investing less in factories and their workforces because the dispute makes it tougher to anticipate costs and demand.
State and federal agencies are teaming up with conservation groups across the state to work on restoring our fish populations. According to a report in the publication Ag Alert, a $429,000 project has just been completed in the Sacramento River to bring more than 12,000 tons of gravel into the water. Okay, the project is called the Market Street Gravel Project, and this is expected to benefit the fish population by spawning habitats for the Chinook salmon and the steelhead trout. Officials say at least 3 more similar projects are being planned throughout the state for later this fall.
The U.S. Department of Agriculture just released a new report about the state's weather effects on crop production. According to that report, temperature highs ranged from high 70s to mid 100s for the valley and lows on mid 50s to high 80s. Because of this, field, fruit, vegetable, and nut crops throughout the valley continued with steady progress. However, the report noted foothill rangeland and non-irrigated pastures remained in fair to poor conditions, as water had to be hauled to livestock in some dry areas. Yeah, we're certainly feeling those dry conditions. My eyes are watering right now.
Right, your allergies are really bothering you. I'm sorry, I'm right there with you. As we know, we're in the middle of harvest, and so shaking the trees does trigger a lot of people's allergies, but it's keeping Kern County going. We love our agriculture out there. So we're calm and quiet right now. You see a little bit of onshore flow. We're clear, and with that, we're pretty cool. We love it. 67 here in Bakersfield. If you want to open the windows, we have good air quality and some pretty calm breezes. 54 in Tatchman, only 49 in Bear Valley Springs now, 60 in Isabella. So sweater weather for you this morning. Later today, t-shirt weather, plenty of sunshine, and 86 in Bakersfield. 7 degrees below average. Another afternoon just feeling really nice with a bit of that breeze, keeping the air moving, but it does help to trigger the allergies yet again. Low 80s in Isabella and Kernville, 70s in Glenville, and for all of our South Mountain locations means Bear Valley Springs and Pine Mountain Club, you're spending most of your day only in those 60s up there. Down into our desert communities, you're seeing 90s for most, 87 in Mojave, 89 in Lancaster. Really a nice fall day, but heading into tomorrow, we could have some more winds like we saw on Saturday. Show you that in the Futurecast coming up.
Still to come on 23 ABC, Pizza Hut is making a comeback. I'll tell you how the chain says their new partnerships are helping their sales to soar. And a frightening weekend at the box office unless you're counting the money. It Chapter 2, big weekend. I'll show you how much it brought in, that and much more straight ahead. 441. We're just getting started. This is 23 ABC.
Welcome back. Just one incident to report early this morning from the CHP. They're saying that there's a vehicle that is stalled and inoperable here at Banducci near Bright Dam Road. So that may cause some issues, but Highline nearby wide open. No other problems in Tehachapi or Golden Hills. 58 is wide open, getting you down to the valley floor where you see all of that construction continues. Now on Saturday, I drove through the Rosedale area to check out that closure. It's very well marked. You can see the cars. They've repainted the lines. They have plenty of signage for you. This off ramp here going northbound onto Buck Owens, and then then you can wrap around on Buck Owens itself to Rosedale. It is a little slow, but it's a good detour for you if you want to avoid that completely. You could get off from northbound 99 onto California and head north on Oak, and then take Rosedale off to the west or 24th off to the east.
British Airways officials say most of their flights have been grounded after pilots kicked off a two-day strike this morning. The pilots' union is demanding better pay. They're also warning about another strike later this month. On Twitter Sunday, the British Airline Pilots Association wrote that it put out a proposal to the carrier's management but has yet to receive a response. Today, British Airways released a statement saying it's ready and willing to return to the negotiating table. The Big Apple is suing T-Mobile, accusing the company of scamming its customers. In a lawsuit filed against the nation's third largest wireless carrier, the city claims T-Mobile violated New York's consumer protection law by allegedly selling used phones as new. They also claim T-Mobile enrolled customers in expensive plans without their consent, then lied about its refund policy and overcharged the customers. In a report by USA Today, T-Mobile said it's taking the allegations very seriously. Apple's big product unveil is tomorrow, so what can you expect to see? Well, the company will likely unveil some new iPhones, but don't expect anything 5G capable, foldable, or substantially different from last year. According to reports, Apple will likely show off 3 new high-end phones, including the iPhone 11 Pro, the 11 Pro Max, and the 11 to replace the XS, XS Max, and XR model. Do I say XS or 10S? Elena, I don't know. The rumor mill suggests Apple Watch will also get a little update, and there will be new iPads, MacBooks, and Apple TV hardware, little tweaks to those. Domino's Pizza has been enjoying a resurgence over the past few years thanks largely to its online presence and mobile ordering app. Now another pizza chain's making big moves for a different reason. Pizza Hut says it has intercepted a high-profile deal with the NFL. The league ended its relationship, if you remember, with Papa John's last year, shortly after its CEO blamed its declining sales on football players protesting. Since then, attention has turned away from those protests and back to the field. The restaurant still isn't growing as rapidly as Taco Bell or KFC, which are also owned by Yum Brands. Pizza Hut, though, hopes to change that by investing in the same type of tech that has helped Domino's. Entertainment news now. As expected, It Chapter 2 opened in first place at the weekend box office. It was big. The sequel taking in $91 million. Right in the middle of expectations, it's the second biggest opening ever for a horror film, right after the record-setting $123.4 million debut of the original It 2 years ago, or the remake of It. Hey, there's more praise out for the film The Joker. The origin story starring Joaquin Phoenix received the Golden Lion. You know what that is? It's the top jury prize at the Venice Film Festival. Yeah. Now, it's rare enough that a major Hollywood film would win the award, but apparently, even more rare, it's practically unheard of for a superhero adjunct film to take it. The Joker is out on October 4th. And folks at the Toronto Film Festival Saturday were the first to see Tom Hanks as Mr. Rogers at the world premiere of It's a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. Early reviews, what else? The Tom Hanks movie. High praise. They call him charming and, quote, transporting in the role of Mr. Rogers. The film opens nationally in late November. I mean, I was just kind of
grinning.
No, Elena, I was just trying to think as we go to Elena and weather that who else could have played it?
Nobody.
No one.
It's Tom Hanks through and through.
Yeah.
And even the mannerisms, it's just everything. It's perfect. It's making me grin and having all